Good morning. Hello. How you doing? What for art thou? What are thou for? That's a good morning. You do you, Nate. You do you. Good morning. So I'm working 8:30 to 5 this week. So my normal time I would be on here is a little off. I ain't stepping on no toes. Go leave me and just go watch Nate. Feel free. This morning I am just talking about what for art thou? And what are we for? What are we for? Well, I keep rehashing this. I feel like I'm a broken record on the subject, but there's new people and there's people that don't watch everything that I do. I don't blame them at all. I don't know. I don't know if I would watch everything that I did. It's not really the point. I try to break up stuff topically anyway for that sake. So I'm just here to provide value, and that's going to be different depending on the person. Some of the things I discuss might not hit home for you, and some of the things I discuss might be right on the money. And then, speaking of, and then there are things that you really want to hear about that I just haven't gotten to. And for those things, yeah, I was before the point of no return. Check that out. Oh, right before the bulk line, safely. You really seem to be a little arrogant and prideful about your driving. Well, you know, kind of speaks for itself. Just kidding. All right. So what for art thou? I'll tell you. It's in my name. I don't always get it right, but I'm trying. I am primarily interested in sharing the good news and the bad news and how they relate and what we can do about it and how we can live our lives practically, and how more people can get it. What is it? The gospel. Mopeds are just the weirdest instrument of transportation. There was like a lot of people here and then they all left. It's all good. Or Google's lying, and that doesn't surprise me. This is not the commercial. I'm going to make a concise, like I said this on the video with my wife, I'm going to make a concise commercial. In fact, let me recruit. Honestly, I just don't like the sound of my voice that much. And if I'm going to make like a commercial, so to speak, like just some kind of 60-second, I'll write it. I don't mind writing it. But that's not a word. 60-second, that could get twisted. Commercial for Operation Baby Landlord. I'd like a movie voice to do it or something. How to put stuff together, and you can see it in one of my oldest videos on this channel. That's a video I made using software in about 2 weeks. It took me about 2 weeks to make that video, so and I got permission from the band or music group or whatever that the song in the background, I got their permission to use that song and all that good stuff. It's weird. Like, YouTube tried to take that video down when I brought that out, and I was like, I had to appeal it and be like, listen, I got permission from the musicians themselves, and it was like a Sony copyright or something. But eventually they were like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine, and they took it away, and it's been fine ever since. Sanctorum. Good old Latin. Good old Latin. Sanctorum electus isn't a bad name for the idea. Alright, so as far as Operation Baby Landlord goes, there is a not a website. I don't know if there ever needs to be a website. Obviously, I've toyed with the idea, but there is an email address, though, if you are interested in communicating, in joining, or asking questions about what Operation Baby Landlord is. Email the address operationbabylandlord@gmail.com, and that is the best means to privately communicate, because it's email instead of some public forum or any of that. So operationbabylandlord@gmail.com, and that's a way to get a message to me that you don't have to worry about other people seeing it, whatever. So that is what it is. So I want to talk about a couple of other things that have been brought to my attention, and I'm going to do my best to address them to the degree of their importance, in my opinion. What for art thou? Well, I'm for enriching people's lives, providing value with the gospel, and doing that based on my gifting, and with a little humor, sarcasm, all that good stuff, just to kind of keep it light. It's part of my personality to incorporate those things in how I interact with others. So there's that. Had a habit of scheduling a video and then taking that link and then posting that link everywhere that I know that people might see it, and I want to clear that up, because somebody said that that was kind of bad taste in the mouth. You don't care about anybody else, you just want people to come look at you. Well, let me clarify something. YouTube, right now there's one person. Let me ask you this question. Were 288 people notified that this was happening right now? Was nearly 300 people told that that I'm live right now? Do they even know? No, because that's not how YouTube operates. YouTube doesn't give a consistent, perfect notification system, because if it did, you would probably be subscribed to 5 or less things. And yeah, but it's not perfect, it's not instantaneous, and therefore I know that, and I operate accordingly, just in case anybody wants to check it out. And that's why it would be really nice to have a single Discord managed by, like, co-managed or tri-managed by a couple of bears that really get it. And then on that Discord, to have a little sub category literally titled "Going Live Now," and people would just literally just post a link, and that's it. And it was expected to go there. Like, it's fine. And you'd be like, oh, look, somebody's going live right now. Oh, look, I'm not even subscribed to that guy. Let me go look. I mean, it makes sense. It's simple. It doesn't come across in any kind of weird way. And if it does, they're not the weird one. So, there's that. There's the, yeah. So I have placed my tools for showing respect and appreciation in the description of these videos. I broadened it out, and now it doesn't have to be PayPal. It can be a variety of other cryptocurrencies if you do that. If you don't necessarily do that, because, well, it's a lot of work, and it's not a lot of work. You could pull it off. You could literally hop on Coinbase, transfer, but there is a learning curve. You couldn't do it immediately, but you kind of could. Coinbase has Ripple now, and you could directly buy and then transfer Ripple out from Coinbase to the address if you wanted to. I mean, it's a method, it's a technique. The problem is DOGE is the best, DOGE. Everybody always made fun of it. It was a cryptocurrency literally designed as a meme. Yeah, and they actually did a really great job. 1/4 cent per Doge, but that's great. I mean, be like, bro, that was a good point. Here's 5 Doge. Dude, awesome. Here's 5 Doge. Dude, exactly. This guy gets it. Look, 5 Doge. Like, and every time that the person is giving 5 Doge, they're giving literally 1.25 pennies. And that's fine. It's not like, oh, you're not going to give me 10,000 Doge. No, I'm not going to give you, I mean, I could, but that's not the point. The point is, the point is that it's a token. It's just like, exactly. It's like a thumbs up, but more tangible, right? And that's what the tipping, I truly think that one day there will be a almost exclusive, no recorded videos, everything just goes away. Let's say they give you 72 hours to watch it, and if you don't get a chance to watch it in 72 hours, it's just gone. TiVo. So I really think that there will be a platform one day where people are able to tip, super chat, right? They're able to tip and interact and chat, but it's all live. Everything's always live streaming. There's a dude that does like 4 hours a day of nothing but just jamming, and that's his job. He just jams, like a Ronald Jenkins kind of guy, right? Or because I watch this guy and I respect this guy, these people are trying to kill somebody, like literally care nothing about their own life. Stephen Ignoramus. Check that guy out. He's got some skills. And I was on his channel and he was jamming, and I was like, dude, have you ever heard of Ronald Jenkins? Is like, I'm trying to do something here. Like, oh yeah. I didn't understand the conflict of interest. Because the reason I like Ronald Jenkins is he just does what he loves, and he's not a salesman at all. But he's made it. He's made a living, and he's not at all. He's not even hardly trying. I don't know what the guy's personal life is actually like, but it's fascinating. But yeah, check out Stephen Ignoramus. Dude jams. And he's pretty good. Pretty good. Better than me. I mean, I play with instruments. That's all I do. I play with them. I don't play instruments. It's earlier than normal. Got 8:40 on the eastern coast. We got 5:40 a.m. I guess on the west coast, and I'm at 7:40 on my way to work with an unusual schedule this week. Tis what it is. So yeah, I really think that one day there will be a live streaming platform where people are able to super chat and tip. There's a level of interactivity between the person doing the live streaming and the audience, and there's a purpose and a theme, but there's also some type of interaction. Some will operate more like clubs where there's an entrance fee to even get into that live stream because it's a little bit more well developed or well produced or whatever. And then some will be more indie, with an indie feel to it, right? Where you got folks that are just doing whatever they're good at. So I've talked about my skills and abilities. I have a gift for discernment. I have a gift for words of wisdom. You might not understand these phrases that I'm saying. They have to do with gifts of the Spirit. And if you don't know what that means, maybe I'll do a little study on gifts of the Spirit for some of y'all out there. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize the kind of schedule that I have. I wake up, I get ready for work, I have to leave, my kids are still in bed, because it's usually really still early, 6 something, right? And then I leave, and sometimes I get to say, bye. I say bye anyway, but if they're sleeping, I'm not going to wake them up to say bye. I work. Normally I work an 9:30 to 6 shift, but I have a anywhere from 35 minutes. No, it's never 35. I mean, look at all of my streams. They're the length of my commute. So it's pretty obvious, the average. You can do the average. You just scroll through, and that's pretty much the length of my commute. For the most part. Anyway. Then I get home. And especially when I'm doing a 9:36, which is my normal schedule, I'm getting home, and my kid, because by that time it's about 6:50 when I'm getting home, about almost 7. My kids are headed to bed, brushing their teeth. I get to ask them about their day, debrief, and they're in bed. That's about 30 minutes of time with them. And then it's time to give attention to my wife and be a husband. And I do that in ways like making sure that usually I'll take the trash either in the evening or in the morning. Like today, I took it in the morning. I make sure that the dishes are all done and taken care of. Most of the time, Some of the time I'm really distracted and not on the top of my game, and I miss it. But those are the two primary ways that I am participating in helping out. And then we talk, we situate ourselves, might make some tea, might make some hot chocolate, some other liquid, and then we try to relax by, sometimes we watch something together, sometimes we just talk. But that's like, you know, debriefing time from a day of staring at a computer and just processing tons of information. And her interacting with children ranging from 7 to 1, 5 of them for a whole day. So there's a level of acknowledgement and care that I desire to put into to that debriefing process. It sounds really, yeah, I'm just describing something. Anyway, I'll put it this way. It's time I want to spend as well. It's not just, oh, it's what I have to do. That's not how I'm saying this. I want to do that time. I want to brief and all that. So that's 5 days a week. Now on the last day, typically Saturday, one time a month, we have a movie night where we invite others over, and we, like this last time we watched the Giglio Talk, which was good. Before that we did a Twilight Zone, and we did I guess that's it. This is the third month. We're only doing it once a month, so. But the weekends are like our only opportunity to do our running around. So whether that involves shopping for groceries or whatever. So anyway, I've got 40 to 47 hours on average. I mean, I did a couple of weeks ago, I did a 50-something hour week. And on top of that, I've got my commute that basically knocks off 2 hours every day out of the home. So I'm away from the home no less than 10 hours a day. How many? 10 and a half hours a day I'm away. That's less than it has been. It's been worse before. I've left at 6 and got home at 10 every single night for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we had to change our lifestyle. I had to leave that job, and that wasn't gonna work. So this is better than it's been, and I'm thankful for it, appreciative and all that. But anyway, moving on. So somebody was like, you just trying to tell others about your stuff, but you're not engaging. You're not trying to build relationships. That's what this is for. Because right now, I have nobody in my vehicle, and I have the opportunity to do what I'm doing. And today's stream is probably boring because I'm just talking about a response to something that about 1% of my subscribers would even understand what I'm referring to. That's okay. maybe it's helpful for other people to get to know a little bit more about what's going on and why I'm a human being and not a machine. So I have to balance my time wisely. I just explained how I balance my time, and I don't have time for social media. People over 30 that are on Instagram confuse me, especially those with families, and especially those that are also already, good morning, especially those that are already doing a lot of other stuff. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm not into sharing, I don't know. I just don't like a lot of social media. I don't think that it's beneficial. I especially don't think it's beneficial for like a Christian married man to be involved in a lot of those sorts of things. So that's just, everybody does their own thing, and that's between them and God in a lot of ways. Unless they ask. If they ask, I'll tell them what I think. And why. Obviously, I'll give reasons and validation. How many people does this tell me are here? I think that says 2. Well, good morning. Some people just listen to this, and I get that. What are you for? It's basically what the title of this video was supposed to make you think, but I did it in a creative way, or not so creative. I don't know. But what are you for? What are you contributing your time to? How are you participating in the things that you're for? This really just loops back to the idea of our expectations, your beliefs. How are you living based on your beliefs? Are we being intellectually and logically consistent? Meaning, does what we believe match what we do? These are valid questions to ask yourself, and that's what I'm trying to encourage people to be attentive to, because there are millions of ways to get distracted. And what I'm trying to do is take away those distractions and encourage people to focus more. The one that fits, Nate. The one that fits. I'm trying to encourage people to do what they believe and make sure that what they believe is sound. And by sound, I mean in accordance with, that means in line with, that means matches Scripture and the purposes that we've been obliged to follow according to God and His Word. So there, it's that. So I'm not going to be chatty, and those that also aren't, I'm not sitting around waiting for people to like interact with me. I'm sharing my life, hoping that there will be people that find value in that, and that has not as much to do with me getting paid for being who I am. If I could make a living doing Operation Baby Landlord and other similar projects, I would really, that would be fantastic. However, I know that I can't rely on YouTube. And And at this point in time, it's the big boy on the block, and there's not. If I were to switch to another platform, live streaming, I would. I just don't think that it would be. It would take a really long time. Anyway. Hello, truth enthusiast. So, I'll mention the donation stuff from time to time. You can go through all my videos. I know for a fact I don't mention it every time. But I do it because some people don't know. Some people don't even assume that somebody would have a PayPal. I do it just as a little, hey, it's there if you're interested. And there. I don't know how else to say that. I would love to be able to do this full time, but obviously that's not happening anytime soon. And for now, I'm gonna work my job, and I will do the best I can to share progress and all that good stuff. Thanks, Truth Enthusiast. We have different purposes. Vox has a completely different purpose. Not completely different. There's probably a little bit of overlap between our purposes and why we're doing what we're doing. But his frustration with me yesterday on his stream, I get it. He's getting annoyed that I'm asking questions that are similar to questions that he's already answered. It's fine. He clarified, which I was thankful for. I was thankful for the clarification. And I'm a contributor to, I did the $5 thing, so. Well, the thing about humility is humility should result in change. So, yes, I talk about when I get things wrong, and yeah, I talk about when I get things wrong, but humility should lead to change. And what I mean by that is if you've gotten something wrong, do your best to start changing according to that. So I listen to folks, see what they have to say. I appreciate the admonishment. According to Nate, I'm a kindergarten teacher. Kidding. I know he's partially joking, but he also just sees certain aspects of me from his perspective too, which is different than the way that somebody like Intoxicating Masculinity would look at what I have to say, because he's a father of 3, and and the whole single income family thing, that's a different have a good day at work, Silver. The single income family thing is you ever heard of people being a glutton for punishment? You kind of, you're signing up for a lot of struggle, trying to go against the norm that society is shaping. Now, single income family is not a new idea. It's pretty historical for thousands of years. But when society starts to change and practically force folks to be dual income families, and you, practically speaking, can't survive, it's a lie. It's not true, obviously. but your life doesn't look like the life of the norm anymore, and that is it's like an imaginary. See you later, Nate. It's like an imaginary loss when you don't have what the majority has. It feels as though you've lost something, or you're losing, or you feel like you're insane, or you feel like you're doing something wrong or whatever, when your life doesn't look like the norm, and the norm is shifting, and all these, it's weird. That could be a thing all by itself. So I just want you to recognize, if there's a topic that you're interested in, I want you to understand that $5, $1, just some type of token for, like, hey, I acknowledge that, you know, I appreciate you, and I acknowledge what you're doing, and I'm interested in this, and that it just sticks. There's a couple of folks that have given nothing, that have come up with excellent ideas, things that I want to do. Incentivization and tokens are helpful, and that's kind of how Operation Baby Landlord was born. Was from a tip, and it was just encouragement, and encouragement is a good thing. So when I mention the donation link or any of that stuff, it's because of encouragement to do things that are good, like the rap video challenge, that are potentially valuable to somebody. Me rewriting an entire song of Eminem, and writing it with holy lyrics, righteous words. I guess that's something that is valuable. Some people like that idea. I don't want to park over there because I'm going to walk across the street anyway. Where did I park yesterday? I don't even know what happened. What even is happening? Where did I park yesterday? I didn't park yesterday because I didn't drive to work yesterday. I got a ride to work yesterday. And that's why I don't remember parking yesterday, because I didn't. Isn't that funny how our brains work? Sometimes our brains are just... we do stuff the same so often that when we change it up, it's kind of confusing. But I like to park here because I'm so crooked right now. I just can't handle that. That ain't any good. Just back up a itsy bitsy. All right, park. All right, let me double check some comments here. This morning, I think I bored. It was a different time too. Nobody expected this. But good morning and hello and all that. I've seen you change. I don't know what you're talking about, Nate. All right. Oh, hi, Connor. What's your opinion on the Book of Enoch? I have not read it. So my my wife bought some book about. It has a collection of some of the books that aren't included in the canon, and I can't remember what the list is. Sometimes the sun. Sometimes I sneeze because of the sun. They say people that have ever experienced jaundice have that as an issue. But the Book of Enoch, I don't believe that's one that I've read. I've read a handful of the non-canonical books, but I don't have an opinion on it because I've never read it. But I would. I would read that. That's fine. There's obviously some stuff I would never read. Not necessarily non-canonical, but for instance, I would literally never, ever, ever read the Zohar because I'm not a sodomite and I love God. And anybody that reads the Zohar for more than research to help people that read it to stop being sodomites, they need help. So anyway, it's books like that I would not want to read. But yeah, I'll check it out. Check it out. If there's any other questions, if not, I'm just gonna try and give a summary to what I talked about this morning. The summary at the end. You never know. Somebody might just scroll right to the end. But welcome. Thanks for being here. I appreciate the question. And maybe I'll check that out on my lunch break today. All right, so guys, I'm primarily first and foremost, I am for Jesus. I'm for the gospel. I'm for letting people know about the bad news and the good news and how to live the Christian life practically. That's a pretty simple statement. That means that pretty much everything is going to be associated with that as my primary purpose. And when it isn't, I always want to shift things in my life to be as close to following that as possible. Representing that, proving that, so on and so on. Obedience is my chief concern. Fear the Lord and keep his commandments. That is the duty of man, and I am man, and that's what I want to do. So that's what we're going to do, and then I'm going to do my best based on my gifts and spiritual gifts and abilities to help others do that too. If you're not interested in that, then that's a moot point. If you are interested in that, let me know. And we'll work on it. We'll work on it together. So this was a different time. Nate was talking about sure is a light crowd this morning. I didn't expect 17 people or whatever. That apparently happens when I'm running into the almost 9 o'clock, which means 10 for some folks and 7 for others, because I am Central Standard Time. I get it. It's fine. Some people have not woken up yet that are subscribed. It's all good. But yeah, that's going to be the primary focus, and you'll see things like Operation Baby Landlord. By the way, operationbabylandlord@gmail.com if you have questions about the takedown of the murder mills. Because that's what I'm doing. It's what we are doing. And that's what I will continue to do. And support is helpful. I am literally in the red based on what I make and based on my expenses, I am in the red about $1,000 monthly. And thanks to the generosity of church and the convenience of something called a tax refund, and the credits and the child tax credit and all that stuff, I'm fine for now. But it ebbs and flows, you know. So I'm constantly seeking opportunity and trying to get better employment, because that's the fastest way to increase your income or fix your financial issues, is to increase your income. So I'm working on that. And then this is another means for people to support a good thing, if it is a good thing. And I have no question at all whether or not Operation Baby Landlord is a good thing, and I will keep on working on it with or without incentives. With or without. So, for the folks that have supported, much thanks. I'm very grateful. And I will continue to speak the truth in love and lead others in the good fight, to run the race to the end. Anyway, I don't see any other questions. I think there's just 0 to 2 people here right now. According to Google, it says 2. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to blast out a question if you have one, and then I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. Good morning. I didn't get notified. Michelle. So at the beginning of my video, I literally was talking about how some folks were slightly annoyed, and I mean those words literally, slightly annoyed, that I was posting links to my videos and not ever communicating, and it just came across as I didn't care about anybody, and I just wanted to just shout myself out and look at me, hey, look at me, hey, look at me. And I explained that the reason that I did that is, one, the reason that I don't talk to people a lot on Discord or any of the other things is because I try to meet people on Owen's stream and then sometimes Fox's, but I can't talk too much there because he's really sensitive, and he's trigger happy. He's even more trigger happy to ban people than Owen, believe it or not. Okay, so Michelle, operationbabylandlord@gmail.com is a new email address. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. That's exactly what I want on my shirt. Yes. Yes, that's great. Alrighty. Anyway, so the reason I post my videos and, hey, I'm going live or whatever, is because I want people to see it, and I know that YouTube doesn't do a good job, so I'm just picking up the slack where they don't do it. Not everyone is courageous enough to pursue. Hey, Moosehead. Exactly. I'm not trying to pride myself on that. I'm like, I'm doing so that. Am I here? I need to wrap things up, obviously, but I don't know if I'm here. It usually takes like 7 or 8 seconds to get back anyway. The time's ticking, so I'm going to assume that I'm here. I can't do anything about this, guys. I go into a reconnecting cycle, and I have no power over it, so I just kind of have to give up. And I'll stream later and do some follow-up. I'm gonna try and pray during my lunch break today, and hone in on a little bit more of a didactic type message or something that's a little bit more productive. We're all counting on you. Don't count on Jesus. He's the one that won't let you down. I'm probably going to let you down. That's why relationships don't work, is because people are like, you complete me. No, you're one, but that doesn't mean the person completes you. It's better to put trust in God than to put trust in man. It's all over the Bible. And I will let you down because I'm not you. And I'm not going to do everything that you like and everything that tickles your fancy. That's just not how I'm never going to be able to fill that need for you. But I will be doing I like that movie. Okay, interesting. Gotcha. But anyway, I'm going to pursue the gospel. And if folks are interested in being part of speaking the truth in love, learning how to live life according to the gospel in a pragmatic way, and anything related to that at all, that's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope that it's beneficial, and if it isn't, it doesn't matter that much. I'm going to just keep on doing what I'm doing. And when I get things wrong, I'm going to do my best to grow up and get it right. And that's that. Alrighty. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, that was a pretty vulnerable time. But we're not sharing our lives because, hey, look at us. We're sharing our lives to glorify Christ. We're sharing our lives to, like a testimony. Some people will get it, some people won't get it. And I'm here for the people that get it. And I hijacked that phrase from Owen, giving it a little slightly different connotation, because people that get it, like, just because somebody believes that the moon landing was hoaxed, which I don't, actually, I'm the exception, but that's not what makes somebody that gets it. Okay. Just because somebody can acknowledge statistics that the 1% have 40% of the billionaires, that's not what truly makes you somebody that gets it. Somebody that gets it, and then I'm going to leave, for real. Somebody that gets it is somebody that acknowledges that the world is fallen, that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, that we can do nothing in our own power. We can do no good thing in our own power to get back in good relationship with God, to go to heaven. It's not in our own power. We have to accept a free gift from Him, Jesus Christ, as the substitution for the punishment we deserve for not being obedient, for our sin, for the fall of man. And anybody that gets that really gets it. And if you don't get that, I pray that you do someday. Anyway, that's all.